something that you really care about, you're not going to make it. The second thing I would say is to, like I said, be open to different avenues of writing. So allow yourself to pursue, try newspaper writing, try magazine writing, try general creative writing, try blogging first. Open yourself up to different styles of writing so you can, that just builds you up and show that you are versatile. The next thing I would say would be just to be open. You never know where opportunities can come from. A lot of people didn't think that I could make it being a writer in Mississippi, but technology has been such a great thing that I don't have to leave the state and I can write for people, all over the country and all over the world. So just be open and allow yourself to see the possibilities and just try. And that would probably be my last tip, and one of the most important tips is just to try. There's been times where there's been a writing position that was out of state. I didn't know if I could get it, but sometimes all it takes is just you putting yourself out there and just being willing to try.
That's excellent advice. Totally excellent advice. So I want to point out that everybody knows that Napoleon Hill is one of my favorite personalities. He started out as a newspaper reporter, a columnist. He published a magazine, and then he started his great work of Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill has been passed since the 1970s, I think. But there are still brand new books that are coming out that he had in the vault that are now being published. He's probably had 150 books or so published, but he started as a newspaper reporter. A lot of times, a person that develops skills as a technical writer, writing manuals for companies and doing good documentation, has the gift of structure, and that when they start to do outlines and start being creative with whatever it is their project is, they have that well under control. They might not have as much creativity, and that's something that they're going to have to work on. One thing that I don't think either one of us have said enough, you've mentioned it in this interview, it's critical to be well read. If you're going to be a great writer, you got to be a great reader. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Oh, yeah. Because one thing that I really find disappointing, and if I had to make one point today in this interview, and Jessica, I want you to sum up anything that you want to say. I'll make this point, and then I'll let you close it out, and then I'll say thank you to everybody. I'm trying to help people in life not go in the wrong direction with false expectations. But in no way, shape, or form am I the voice of negativity. A lot of people, when I've done business consulting for 44 or 5 years now, and a lot of people, sometimes when they meet me, they think I'm a little negative. But I try to help people not have false expectations and think that it's going to happen the way they want it to, when they want it to. And so I really try to push people and probe people into some reality here. But my goal is not to pop their bubble or their balloon, whatever you want to call it. My goal is to look at the obstacles, identify them, and then to do a realistic plan that will get you to where you can deal with every obstacle. And then sometimes you've got to understand the time frames. You've got to back up a little bit and say, hey, if I want to be a writer and I don't know how to spell very well and I don't know how to use a word processor, then maybe I ought to know that I better get up to speed on word processing and learn how to use spell check before I go too much further. Because otherwise they're going to get to a point to where they might be prolific, but it might not be in a suitable way that they can give to a publisher, or they might be rejected too much because it's just too, the grammar is just too far gone. And a publisher might say, hey, I like your thinking, I like your content, but you need to work on this a little bit more. What's your thinking about preparation to get to where you want to go?
The fundamentals are extremely important. Like you said, the basics, just liking to read. That's how you help develop your stories. That's how you help develop your style. Understanding, like you said, basic grammar, basic spelling. Those are hugely important. And honestly, they save you money in the long run when you're getting your book edited. Making sure that you have things on hand, that's a big deal. And also knowing that if you can have those basic skills, but you aren't, like maybe you're not the best at grammar, know that you don't have to pressure yourself so much to be perfect at it. That's where you can have an editor. That's where you can have a proofreader, and things like that to, help you polish your writing, but make sure you yourself have those basic skills.
Very good. Well, Jessica, it has been a pleasure to talk with you today and hear more about what your book's going to be and how you got there and so on and so forth. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we get off the air?
To anyone that wants to be a writer, anyone that wants to publish, just again, I can't stress enough how important it is to be passionate about the stories that you have to tell. Because no matter what the story is, fiction, nonfiction, whatever it may be, it is important and it should be told. So make sure that you do what you need to do to ensure that those stories are told the best way possible.
Beautiful. So it's JD Scribes at, would you give your website one more time?
My website is scribes.com. But if anyone would like to reach out to me for at jdscribes.com.
I apologize, but we got a little reverberation in the recording just now. Would you say spell out jdscribes.com for everybody?
It's jdscribes.com.
Okay. And so everybody knows rightthink.org, rightthink.org. And I'm still trying to recruit people that want to be involved with the mission of Right Thinking to try to be there in correspondence and mentorship for those that are going to be still incarcerated and for those when they get out. And with that said, Jessica, you are a joy. You are a pleasure. And everything I've ever said about you is true. I need to amplify it again. And I can't wait to order your book. And when it comes out in October, and I know it's not the last of the books that you're going to be writing. You're going to be very prolific in your career. And I know you're going to help many, many other people succeed. So with that said, Jessica, God bless you. And thank you so much for participating in the show today. And everybody just have a wonderful week. Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks for listening to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I look forward to being with you again next week. And remember, don't quit, plan ahead, it will get better. God bless you and have a great week.